Hey, everybody. Welcome to another stress reset. We're halfway through. We are halfway through this series of classes. So I have a question for you, a thought of the day in the chat, and it looks like we're getting some feedback already. So if you wouldn't mind just at some point today, kind of popping in there and letting us know what has been the most insightful, meaningful, profound, important thing you have learned through Stress Reset. I'm curious because I'm curious to know what else do you need to know? What else would you like to know within the context of this class? So at some point today, if you wouldn't mind popping in there, I'd really appreciate it. Again, I'm James and welcome to Stress Reset. Western Health Advantage, CommunityFIT. If you are brand new to Stress Reset, don't worry. This class is not cumulative. Having said that, what we are going to do today is sort of review and deepen our practice with what we've been learning over the last few weeks. We're going to have some low body stuff, some upper body stuff, some middle body stuff, breathing exercises and such to leap us forward into what we'll be covering over the next 3 weeks of Stress Reset. So if these exercises, practices are familiar to you, great. Repetition, 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 repetition. Even if we aren't good at it, repetition, repetition, repetition is exactly how we build new skill sets. And that's what this class is all about. This is not about fixing stress. This is not about moving away from stress. This is about understanding and metabolizing our body's response to stress so that we can stop saying something like, I'm stressed, and understanding that, oh, my body is processing right now. My body is doing I am doing exactly what I need to be doing. How can I help myself out? So having said that, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with a breathing exercise today. I want you to look down at your hands. And which hand, right or left, grabs your attention today? Which feels important today? Let that be your favorite hand for today. The other hand is going to take a finger. We're going to start at the base of the pinky. When you travel up that finger, you will do an inhale. As you travel down that finger, you will do an exhale. Inhale, exhale. If you don't have this available to you, you don't have full working conditions, full ableism in your ability in your hands, just look at your hands and imagine you are going to travel up or down, or pick a foot, pick something in the room to sort of travel up and down. Then inhale as you go up, exhale as you go down. Inhale as you go up, exhale as you trace down. Inhale up, other side. And then just pick your hands up and shake them. Like you're shaking out some stress. Maybe that becomes a shaking of the full arm or shaking of the body today. Let the shaking sort of make its way into a tap or a patting of the chest. Maybe you just want to do a tap today. Maybe today you just need some stroking across the front of the chest and rib cage, or maybe you just need a hold. Which one do you need today? Breathing into it. One more breath. Rub your hands together, get them warm. Nice warm hands go on the front of the throat. Becomes a little bit of a jaw massage. that jaw massage can continue, or you can go into tapping, or as we did on Wednesday, it can go into like a little bit of like a face pulling. I think it was Wednesday that we did that. Maybe it was last week. I think maybe last week. Now, grab a hold of your ears. We're going to pull outwards and gently backwards. Again, it's an outward and a gently backwards. Outward, gently backwards. And then just take and give yourself a little ear massage. Just kind of stroking, rubbing, avoiding any piercings you may have. Just sort of working through that. Good. Back down into the jaw. Back down to the chest. A little belly rub maybe, a little patting, working your way down to your legs. Where does it feel important for you to stop and take notice today? Stroking of the legs, just waking them up. Then just begin to look around the room, kind of orienting yourself. No need to speed up. It's not like, how fast can I intake the room? You're just sort of noticing. And for me today, what feels really important, because I'm someone who typically will notice objects, today I'm going to notice light in the room. What feels especially bright? What feels especially dark? I love the way light filters through things, so I'm especially noticing shadows in the room. The way that maybe the top of a leaf or the top of something looks brighter than the bottom. I'm just kind of noticing. Today, my practice is noticing the way the light fills the room. How does it dance around the room? Just kind of noticing. Maybe yours is different today. Maybe you want to notice green things in the room, or bright things, or dark things, wooden things in the room. Then casually look over your left shoulder, whether you want to put your arm down or not. Take a look at what's behind you in the room. Allow your body to move with it. Just kind of look. And then come back. And taking a look at what's over your right shoulder in the room. Breathing into that. And then working our way back. Take a nice deep inhale. Let out a sigh. Let your posture change with that. There's nothing magical about any seated posture. You can sit, you can stand, you can be however it is you need to sit, stand, or be. Take an inhale. Again. Now work your way down to being on your back. Once we're down here, let your arms be wherever they are most comfortable. Let your knees kind of drop to one side and then drop to the other side. Finding your center, bring the soles of the feet together. Your knees will open up. Hands will go wherever they're the most supportive, most useful for your body. I squeeze the soles of my feet together. I do a little bit of a tuck, and I hover 1 to 5 inches above the floor, squeezing, pushing, contracting. And I'm going to hang out here, breathing softly. Going into some of those TRE exercises, tension and trauma release exercise. If you're new and you'd like a little more explanation about what it is we're doing here, some of the earlier videos in this series cover this. And then working our way all the way back down. Now, let yourself be rested. Slowly bring your knees 1 inch together, another inch together. How close can they come before you start to feel some tremor, vibration, shaking in the legs? That's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to elicit a tremor shake response. Not only is this good for stress, but I just found out tremoring, shaking, fidgeting. For some of you, this might feel really important. Tremoring, shaking, fidgeting is one of the #1 ways to burn fat. So not only is it a good exercise for stress relief, some people find it really valuable to know that it's also a way to increase thermogenesis, or the way we burn calories. Now you can let it shake, or if you're like out like this, slide your legs totally straight, or you can follow me into another round. Opening up, squeezing, tucking, pushing down through your feet. Being there, push the feet together a little bit more, toes included. Push your heels down a little bit more. Holding another 10 seconds. And working our way down. Bringing the knees a little bit closer, until they vibrate or shake. For me, this is the last repetition I need to do. I'm in the shimmy shake here. If you are like, nope, don't get this, not there yet, go back into it. You got some time here. Or just let them shake. It's like how we did with the handshake. You're essentially shaking off stress from the molecules and the cells in the legs. Just letting them shake. I'm going to go for another 30 seconds here. Just letting it shake. If I was doing this on my own, I'd probably let them shake for 5 minutes. Another 15 seconds. And then I'm going to slowly bring my knees closer together, ground my feet, and let my feet open up at least as wide as my body, the mat, or even a little bit wider. From there, I'm going to let my knees kind of cave in towards each other. And now I'm going to do a bridge here. Pushing my feet down, kind of intentionally for this, squeezing my glutes, which is not the right way to do a bridge, because there isn't a really right way. It's just specific to what we're trying to do today, which is working our way towards the therapeutic shape, the therapeutic tremor. Working my way back down. Letting my knees open up to be over my feet. Any little shaking that wants to go on there can go on there. I'm not making myself do a shake. This is just sort of where my body is trying to let go of holding patterns, tension patterns, stress. I'm going to go in for another round. So I'm going to let my knees come together. going up. And then I'm going to go all the way back down. Let my knees open up. Now I can stay here, or you can follow me into bringing my feet totally together, my knees together, and letting my knees open 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches until I'm at that shaky, tremory, vibrational, letting go space. Here might be a good place to notice, where in my body do I feel especially spacious? Where in my body do I feel like I'm holding, tight, congested, less spacious? Can I just allow the spaciousness to take over? For me, I'm noticing I'm holding in my hips. I'm just going to go into a practice of noticing, oh, look at that. I'm spacious in my belly, spacious in my low thigh, quad area. But right here, right in the hip joint, tight. Can I just allow that to feel more spacious? For me, that elicits a greater tremor. Why am I holding on to that stress? It's like I'm thawing out that area of my body. It's been frozen and tight, and just allowing it to shake and thaw. Now, if this feels especially important to you, stay here, do this. I'm going to choose to slide my legs straight and legs straight. I'm going to take both hands, place them on my upper belly, palm over palm, hand or palm on top of hand, on top of where I believe my stomach to be, which is upper belly, low rib, solar plexus area. And I just imagine my actual stomach as a water balloon. And I kind of gently push down and release. Now, I know that the water balloon should have some squishiness, but I don't want to squish it too hard. I don't want to pop it. Then I'm going to push down towards the thumb aspect of my hand, and then towards the right, and then towards the pinky aspect, and then the left. I'm just going to keep going around until I notice a space that feels important. Maybe it feels really good. Maybe it feels really bad. Maybe it feels harder or softer. Or maybe you just know this is where I should push right now. And I'm not pushing hard, I'm just gently holding until I hear my stomach gurgle or churn, or I feel a great big swallow, or my breathing change, or yawn, or I just feel myself down regulate, which just means I feel myself relax a little bit. When I feel that, yeah, I just had a little stomach gurgle. I'm going to go over more towards one direction and look for somewhere else that feels important. I'm just going to hold for a moment. Sometimes you can feel it in your own body of going like, oh yeah, I feel different there. That feels like I don't need to hold here anymore. Sometimes it takes a cue, like, oh, I just swallowed hard. My breathing just changed. I just yawned. I just heard something different happen in my body. Learning to listen for and pay attention to those cues is exactly how you know that the work is holding, the work is changing. You'll keep moving. Then, and if you want to stay here, stay here. Both hands go to the left down towards the low belly, over to the right, back up. Over to the left, down to the low belly, to the right, and back up. Now, if it feels really important to stay here for your body, stay here. For the rest of us, open your arms to the letter T and flip your palms towards the ground. Now, you're going to gently push down on the floor and try to pull the floor towards your back. So I'm gently pushing down and gently telescoping my arms toward each other. Now, if that hurts, you can always do it by bending the elbows, pushing the elbows down, and pulling the elbows towards shoulder blades. You don't want to pull them down to your hips or up to your ears. They pull in directly toward each other. Telescoping and then releasing. You should feel some kind of activity between the two shoulder blades. Push down, dragging towards each other. It's like a pinch or a squeeze or contraction between the two shoulder blades. And then a release. Push, drag, awareness, and release. Push, drag, release. One more. Push down, drag, and release. Bend your knees. Drop your knees to one side. Roll over to whatever side that is and onto your belly. I'm going to change directions here. So I'm going to be on my belly all the way down. Now I can have my head like this, crisscross. You choose. For the sake of you hearing me, I'm going to be in this position. This is not the correct position. Although, if this is the position you feel most comfortable in, do this. From here, I'm just going to allow my belly, my guts, my kidneys, my spleen, my gallbladder, all the internal stuff to rest down into the floor. When I do that, I also feel my sits bones widen and my ribs soften. And I'm very aware of shoulder blade weight here. If I was down here, I'd also be aware of my ribs getting really heavy, my lungs and my heart sinking into the floor. And I'm just going to be wherever that is, breathing and acknowledging that I'm sinking into the floor. From there, bend both knees. Bring the feet together. Right foot traces left inner shin, inner calf, and vice versa. What I want you to feel is not just the feet touching the other leg, but feel, oh, look at that, as my left foot caresses the inside of the right leg, my right belly, my right kidney, my right lungs, and everything get heavy. And then it's the other side. It's like a ship, docked, but yawing in a wave, right and left. Now you can continue to do that or straighten out your legs, bring your right knee and leg out to the side and just be there, breathing into the right side of your body. If that feels really important for you, stay there. If not, give it a try on the left. When I do the left, I feel my sit bones narrow, my low back get a little tight. So my work is to be here on the left. And just breathe into this a little bit more and feel supported by the floor. Can I allow my body to melt toward the floor? One more breath wherever you're at. Slide that leg straight. Bring yourself up to hands and knees. From there, I want you to just rock forward and back. Forward and back. If that doesn't work for you, you can be here rocking forward and back. You can sit down on the ground and rock forward back. If you have a rocking chair, go sit in that and do a little rocking. Forward and back. Now I'm going to allow my spine to shift and change with that. There's a rounded and an extended. Pro tip, stop thinking about what you're doing and allow your body to experience the rhythm of rocking, moving forward and back. I can be here doing the same thing. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Collect yourself comfortably, standing, sitting, whatever the case may be. Bring your hands together, interlaced, and put them behind your head. Open your elbows and press your head into your hands and your hands into your head. Keeping all my bones still. I let my eyeballs look to the left. Not super hard. I don't want an eye cramp. I'm just here looking to the left until I feel stomach gurgle, big swallow, deep breath, or a shift in how I feel. That down regulation. It's nuanced. I just had a big swallow, so I'm going to now look right. Yours might take longer or shorter. Right is so much harder. I really want to go to the right. I'm going to really try to keep my nose forward and look. My body's getting a little sweaty just doing this. It's like glistening perspiration. It's fascial. It's like nervous system sweat. Swallow, and now I'm done. I'm going to look forward, and I'm just going to notice the light in the room again. I'm going to do a couple of physiologic sighs. In fact, I'm going to do 3 of them. Remember, that's 2 short, quick inhales through the nose, long exhalation. Inhale, inhale, long exhalation. Sounds like and then a little seaweed spine, right and left. Ending with our freedom technique. I am relaxation, and freedom. I am ease and freedom. I'm open to life and freedom. What words have you been playing with? What thoughts, what feelings have you been playing with? Hopefully you've been playing with this on your own. I am what and freedom. And if you say it and you feel clenched, tight, I'm resistance. I am resistance to calmness and freedom. I am resistant to relaxation and freedom. I am resistant to spaciousness and freedom. Just notice how that affects you. These mental practices of noticing spaciousness in the body, noticing what you can move toward and what you're resistant to, are going to be hyper important as we go through the next 3 weeks. Noticing, do I clench in my pelvis and my belly and my chest? How does it affect my nervous system? Is going to be hyper important as we go forward, and to you resetting your stress. So what from today has felt really important? What from the last few weeks has felt really important? What are you going to practice and take with you so that as we move forward through this series and in life, you have more practices, more skills, and more ability to respond well to the world around you. So thank you so much for joining us again for another Stress Reset. We have a whole nother week next week. Move Lab, Stress Reset, the whole thing. So hopefully you'll join us then. If you have any questions, I'll stick around. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, James. Yeah, you do have some comments to your question earlier, and then you have a question as well. Right. So yes, please, we definitely encourage you guys to use the chat to ask questions and email us. You have both James' email and ours. I'll actually write them in one more time. I'll do yours first, James. Hope everybody has a great weekend, of course. So, oops, I just sent that only to Raymond.
The first question we have is, my shoulder is really tensed and tight. May I request some practices to release shoulder stress? Both classes are very helpful. The little body, big body move practices, spine exercise, and all that of the stress reset with breathing are helpful for me. Great. Yes, we actually did. I don't know if, and I don't want to mention any names because I don't know if you, I want to say it was it last Friday that I did the whole neck and shoulder stress reset? I think it was last Friday. And those should be up. Alicia, do we have them up officially now on the website?
Not yet, not all of them. We have the first 5 classes.
Okay, so great. So last week's classes should be up there really, really soon, hopefully. And we had an entire class all to do with basically face to neck to shoulder girdle, including shoulders, and how to reset some stuff there. If it's really tension and stress related. Now, it could also be biomechanically related, which, you know, the stress stuff will help sort of open up a pathway to be able to work with that area. But it could just be that there is a mechanical thing going on, which often happens if people are sort of computing with mouses or tend to ride like this or drive like this or carrying children. That sort of stuff happens, and Move Lab is going to be really good for that. So I will try to fit some more of those in, but there was a whole class on that. What has been the most important for me is beginning to really understand that stress that I thought of as mental concern is completely integrated with all parts of my body. Exactly. You know, the mental portion is just this is how I think of it. And I come from a words and communications background. Words and that sort of mental picture stuff is just how we communicate interpersonally and interpersonally the experiences we're going through in our bodies. Pretty much everything is existing down here, including the stress. That went by too fast. I agree. Sorry, I missed last Friday. Don't worry, last Friday's class will be up. You'll be able to access that. Cool. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time and for your patience. And again, as I mentioned the other day, the way that we keep this program and these classes moving forward is by you sharing them with your friends, your family, your coworkers, anyone who you feel might benefit from this, especially if they are in the Sacramento, Northern California area. That is where we would really like to make this program grow. So if you have someone in mind who you think, I don't know if they'd be into it, but I think they might, I think they should be, go ahead and send them the link.
Yes, and I'm learning something new, James, on Zoom. I just clicked on something called question and answer, and there's a question in there. I don't know if maybe everyone can see this or not, but do you see that where it says Q&A?
Yep.
Yeah.
So the question is, more info in the freedom technique would be awesome. Finding it really useful. That freedom technique, and these are the practices. This is why the programming that I'm trying out for this one. So again, if you're brand new to this, Stress Reset is a brand new class for us. So we have this iteration. It will be back for the next session. And we'll be playing with it, sort of deciding, well, what kind of sequencing, how do things work, how do things need to work. So how I'm framing this one is we're starting explicitly with the embodiment of stress, and then we will be moving our way to the mindset of stress. Because usually it's taught the other way, or the body is left out, when it's really about this. This is how you have to notice it. The freedom technique comes from psychological fitness, the work of Dr. Mark Atkinson. It is one of his techniques. And I studied with him last year during the pandemic. That's what I did. I studied with Dr. Mark Atkinson. So I'm bringing his work, these sorts of things. The reason why I like psychological fitness and Dr. Mark Atkinson's work is I have spent years studying meditation, somatic meditation, mindfulness practices, body awareness practices, trauma-informed practices, all of these different things. And then when I found his work, the language is just so simple and clean on it. And so I'm really wanting to get that work out there more. So if you're interested, it's psychological fitness and the work of Dr. Mark Atkinson.
Fabulous. We're so lucky to have you, James, all your expertise and
thank you.
Everything you've learned. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Well, everyone have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
You got it. Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye.